The sun was setting over the bustling city of Arinze, painting the sky with strokes of gold. People hurried home after a long day, but inside a quiet coffee shop, a young man sat still, staring at his laptop with frustration written across his face. His name was Daniel Nwoko, a 24-year-old software enthusiast who had just launched his first tech startup. He had vision, passion, energy, but absolutely no direction. Investors had rejected him. His team had abandoned ship. Customers were confused about the product. Months of sleepless nights seemed wasted. As Daniel sat defeated, everything inside him whispered, "You've failed." He shut his laptop angrily. "I did everything I could. Why is nothing working?" A calm voice behind him replied, "Because effort isn't enough. Knowledge shapes effort. Mentorship shapes knowledge." Daniel turned and saw a middle-aged man with gray touches in his beard and kind eyes. His suit was simple, but his presence commanded respect. "Do I know you?" Daniel asked. "Not yet, but I know your company, Nextech. You're solving digital payment problems for small businesses, right?" Daniel blinked. "Yes, that's the idea." The man smiled. "Interesting project. May I sit?" Not knowing why, Daniel nodded. A chance meeting that wasn't chance. The man introduced himself. "My name is Engineer Kenneth Akande. I've worked in the fintech space for over 20 years. Daniel's eyes widened. Kenneth was a name he had heard many times. Seminars, online interviews, innovation events. A man celebrated for transforming several startups into billion-dollar companies. Kenneth continued, "Before I became successful, I made every mistake an entrepreneur could make. I built products no one needed. I hired the wrong people. I ran out of money. I learned the hard way. But the moment I found a mentor, someone who had walked the road before me, my life changed." Daniel swallowed as guilt washed over him. He had once been invited to a mentorship program, but ignored it because he wanted to walk his own path. Kenneth looked at him and asked softly, "Tell me, Daniel, are you tired of failing alone?" The question hit like thunder. For the first time in months, Daniel exhaled deeply. "Yes," he whispered. "I don't want to waste my life making avoidable mistakes." Kenneth nodded. "Good. That realization alone has already saved you 5 years." The first lesson. Listen before building. A week later, they met again. Kenneth didn't start with product strategy or funding proposals. He started with something simpler. Before you build anything, learn to listen to the people you're building for. Then he took Daniel to 10 different shops and supermarkets around town. Instead of coding or pitching, they asked questions, listened, studied pain points. In one store, a businesswoman complained, "Online payments are fine, but what I need is something that helps me track daily debtors." Another said, "I don't have time to learn complicated software." In another shop, a trader added, "If I can do everything on my phone without data, that would be heaven." That night, Kenneth looked at Daniel. "You've been building what you think the market wants, not what the market actually wants." Daniel felt embarrassed, but enlightened. He rewrote his product plan from scratch, not based on assumption, but on the real voices of users. The second lesson. Save your energy for the right people. 3 months later, Nextech relaunched, this time with features that actually solved real problems. But there was another struggle: people management. Daniel had previously selected a team just because they were his friends. Now he had to do it differently. Kenneth taught him something he would never forget. Your team can be the wind that lifts you, or the storm that destroys you. Hire for character first, skill second, friendship last. This time, Daniel recruited wisely. A disciplined product designer, a dedicated marketer, and a tireless support engineer. The difference was like night and day. Work flowed. Problems were solved. Everyone believed in the mission. One evening, as the team sat together laughing over pizza, Daniel realized, if I hadn't taken guidance, I would still be wasting time fixing team drama instead of building solutions. The third lesson: patience wins bigger. The team began gaining traction. People were talking about next tech. 300 businesses signed up, then 1,000, then 2,500. Excitement filled the air. That was when a foreign investor approached with a tempting offer: sell 70% of your company for $400,000. Daniel's heart raced. He could already imagine a new car, luxury apartment, traveling around the world. Yes, he almost said, but he remembered his mentor's words. So he called Kenneth. "What do I do?" Daniel asked eagerly. Kenneth replied calmly, "Let me ask you something. Are you building to escape poverty or to build legacy?" The silence that followed was heavy. Daniel realized he had almost sold his future because of impatience. With a deep breath, he declined the offer. 2 months later, a far bigger deal came: $3.2 million for only 18% equity. His patience saved him from losing control of the company he built. By the fourth lesson: teach others when you rise. 3 years passed. Nextech became a giant. Shops across the country used the platform. The company expanded into West Africa. Forbes featured Daniel. His mother cried during the interview out of joy. On the day Daniel became the keynote speaker at a major tech event, he spotted a nervous young man who looked exactly how he looked years ago: anxious, overwhelmed, hopeful. With trembling hands, the young man walked up and said, "Sir, I admire you so much. I'm trying to build a startup, but nothing is working. I feel like giving up." Daniel smiled. "Sit down. Let me tell you a story." And for the next 2 hours, he passed on everything he had learned, just like Kenneth once did for him, because he now understood something deep. Success without mentorship is slow. Success without mentoring others is incomplete. The moral life has 2 teachers: experience, which is painful and slow; mentorship, which is wise and fast. Mentorship doesn't remove challenges, but it removes unnecessary mistakes. It reduces wasted years. It transforms efforts into results. The people who walk blindly waste time. The people who walk with guidance build faster, stronger, and better. And just like bridges are built so others don't drown, mentors exist so others don't repeat avoidable failures. Final words. No matter the dream: business, career, marriage, academics, music, ministry, someone has walked that road before. A mentor doesn't make the journey easy, but they make it worth the time. Because when you learn from others, your progress becomes less painful, less lonely, more successful, more meaningful. Mentorship shortens the distance between where you are and where you want to be.